Hey man, what's going on?
It's all good.
Good. Sole Syndicate, Jonas. The band formed in 2015. Is that true?
Yeah, correct.
Now I'm gonna, ask you a couple questions. I don't know exactly the dates and stuff like that, so I might jump around a little bit, but I'll give it a shot. Okay.
Sure
Uh,
thing.
Tell me a little bit about Tricky Trail in 2015.
You mean Soul Syndicate?
No, actually, the band was called Tricky Trail.
That's
And
another band. That's
yeah,
another
I
band.
know. I'm going to go through everything.
Okay. Well,
That was more country.
yeah, and I'm still in that band. So
Cool.
I have a couple of bands playing a variety of genres,
Right.
Both of those bands are original material. We write our own music.
Uh-huh.
And Tricky Trail is actually one of Sweden's. We won this national competition, the best country band in Sweden in 2014.
Cool.
Yeah.
Excellent. Now let's go to the first release, Garden of Eden in 2016. Tell me a little bit about that release.
Okay, well, the first album we did everything on our own. We mixed and we produced and we wrote and we recorded everything. We didn't have anyone from the outside helping us or giving us tips or anything. So it was really a trial and error album, and the songs on that album is really a big difference between the songs.
Right.
Some are 80s, like White Lion inspired, and some are heavy. So it was really a broad album. We didn't really find our sound on that album. It took a couple of years for us to understand who we were.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, so we wanted to I wanted to do so much on that album that it became a bit
Right. Yeah. Wow.
both sides.
So after that, in 2020, you had Last Days of Eden.
Yeah.
Tell me a little bit about that release.
Well, that release was where we found ourselves. We found our sound. We found the kind of music we wanted to write and record and play live. We were finding each other as a band, playing quite a lot out in Sweden and Norway as well. Getting to know each other, getting to know what Sole Syndicate was all about.
Right.
So that album pointed us to a certain direction where we have landed today, I would say.
Right. Now, in 2022, you had a lineup change a little bit, but you got the new album coming out, Into the Flames, and that comes out in June on Scarlet Records. I listened to the whole album a couple times. I really was impressed. That's why I asked for the interview.
Thank you.
So tell me a little bit about this release.
Yeah, well, we're so proud of this album, and it feels like we've taken so many steps since the last album in 2020. We have a couple of changes in the lineup, as you say. We got Kat Rasila coming in, playing keyboards and singing. She has contributed a lot on this album. I have written all the tracks, but everyone contributes with their expertise on their instrument and everything. So, and this is a darker, more I don't know, maybe heavier and darker album than the previous one.
Right.
But still, I'm really concerned. I'm not concerned, but I really focus on the melodies. It can be hard and it can be heavy and it can be dark, but you need to have a great melody for a song to stick. So that is my main focus when I write.
Wow. Now, so many good bands are coming out of Sweden. Tell me the secret.
Maybe the darkness. It's cold and it's dark in the winter.
Right.
So we need to creep down in our basements and play guitar and scream out of our lungs, to manage.
Yeah, but you guys got the hooks, you got the background vocals, you got the choruses, and a lot of other countries. I'm going to even say United States. We're missing that little part of music. Like you got Eclipse over there. You got
Yeah.
Crash Diet over there. You got my friend Chris Laney's over there. I mean, so many people. Well, that's my favorite country of music coming from right now.
Thank you so much. But you know, when we grew up, when I was 15, 14, I listened to American bands. Those were my big heroes, like Van Halen, all of those guys.
Right.
Yeah. So you started it. We just we took
Yeah,
over.
we're losing it now.
No, you're not.
You know, like we you know, there's some okay bands, but I mean, nothing compared to Sweden. You know, nothing compared to Sweden.
Well, thank you.
Cool. Now, tell me a little bit about, like I said, I'm going to jump around, so I really don't know exactly the background. Pinstripe Conspiracy in 2019.
Yeah, you
Tell
have
me
done
about-
your research, sir.
Oh, I do. I try to do that. I'm proud of that.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, that's a band where I was involved in our first EP. It was started by a friend of mine called Erik in Gothenburg. You know, a lot of great music comes from Gothenburg.
Right.
And we made an EP, and we had a hard time finding the right members for the band and stuff like that. So it kind of just ran out. I don't know. I can't tell you anything more. It was a great start to a band, but
Right.
things didn't work out.
Right. Right. Right.
Yeah.
How about Lake Domain?
Yeah,
Tell me a little bit.
that band is alive and kicking.
Uh-huh.
And the fun thing about that is that's me and a guy from the UK called Cameron Cooper, a phenomenal guitar player. He's Eddie Van Halen reborn.
Oh.
And he's actually on the latest Sole Syndicate album. So I invited him to play a guitar solo on one of our songs.
Oh.
And he's been visiting me in Sweden, and we're writing music. So we're gonna record more music. So more music from Lake Domain is coming out for sure.
Now I want to know a little bit about Facing the Storm with Robin Beck, because she's a personal friend of mine. I like to get your background on Robin and the song.
Yeah, I wrote the song as a solo project. The thing with me is I'm super productive. I write songs all the time. Every time I pick up the guitar, sit down in my beautiful studio,
right?
There's a new song, a new riff, a new line, a new hook, something coming out of me. I can't tell you what it is. It just happens.
Right.
And I wrote this song, and I felt this is not a Sole Syndicate song. This should be a duet. And so I asked Robin, I have a song. Do you want to contribute? You want to do this with me? And she said yes.
Oh,
so she sang her vocals in Florida, and I sang my vocals here in my studio. And I had a lot of great musicians contribute on that track. Darby Todd playing drums, who's playing with Devin Townsend, Gary Moore. It was expensive for me, but the outcome was pretty good. So I'm that kind of guy. I jump into things, and I like to try new stuff.
Cool. Now let's get back into the Flames, since the new release coming in June on Scarlet Records. Forsaken is the first track. Can you tell me a little bit of background about that song?
That was probably the first song that I wrote for the album. It's been in my computer for a couple of years. It's a statement. I think it's maybe the strongest song on the album. I don't know. I like it. It's more progressive than the rest of the songs.
Right.
Hard to play, but you get a lot of that when you listen to that song. You get progressive metal. You get a killer chorus. It's just a great opening to let the listener into the album.
Cool. Now let's go Count to Zero. Tell me about that.
It's a song about what we're doing with our planet, actually.
Right.
We're counting down, and soon we're on zero, and things gonna go sideways really bad.
Very true.
We're not taking care of our environment, ourselves.
Right.
stuff like that. So it's a song about that, the way we are right now, and that's a kind of a theme for the album. It's a crazy world we're living in. We got the war in Ukraine and Russia. We got the environmental stuff going on. We got the pandemic just behind us. Is it over? We don't know.
Right,
Yeah,
definitely.
Mm.
How about Brave Enough?
Kind of the same theme, and that will be our first video. We shot that video actually last week in Gothenburg. So that's the main single for the album. And it's a, you know, it's the same theme. Are you brave enough to say we're burning down our house?
Right. Yeah.
Look at the album cover.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely. Shadow of My Love.
Yeah. The first ballad. I wrote that on an acoustic guitar, and it could be played on an acoustic guitar throughout the whole song, but I still wanted it to be like a, you know, a power ballad.
Right.
Great melody in the chorus, kind of moody. And it's not really a love song. It's more, the theme of the song is more when people are having a difficult time. If you lose someone, if you get a bad decision, bad message from your doctor or something,
right,
you tend to turn to, sometimes people take advantage of that.
Right. Yeah.
But instead, you listen to those around you, those who love you. Listen to their advice instead. It's more about that.
Right. How about Misbehave?
Misbehave. Yeah, it's a more up-tempo song. Actually, I got the idea for that song when I saw a show on the TV called The Silent Sea. A South Korean TV show, probably on Netflix or something, I don't know. And I got the idea for the song through that series, actually.
Right. Yeah. Wow. How about Dust of Angels?
Dust of Angels is more also kind of, you know, 80s guitar riff song. And the theme of that song is about people who can't control their own emotions.
Right.
Like women abuse, stuff like that.
Right. Yeah. Wow. How about Sunset Strip?
Sunset Strip is probably lyric-wise the most personal song on the album. My sister and the drummer in the band's wife, both of them got diagnosed with cancer.
Sorry to hear that.
Yeah, and the song is about, you know, their struggle to get through that process. Life can be a drive on Sunset Strip, but it could also be something else. So
right.
You don't take life for granted. Just keep fighting.
Right. How about Do You Believe?
Do You Believe is, you know, I'm going to tell you something. Sometimes when I write music, I come up with a riff.
Right.
And when I play the riff, I just sing something. And the first thing that comes out of my mouth turns out to be the song.
Right.
So every song is not lyrically super duper important or has a message. It's just words that works together with the music. Do you understand?
Right. Yes.
Yeah. So I'm not, every song is not, you know, like a poem or something.
Right.
It's not, it could be a rock and roll poetry, maybe.
Right.
But that is, you know, sing along song. We're going out on tour. Come and sing with us. You know, like
yeah, an anthem type.
Yeah, anthem type, exactly.
Right. Okay, in the absence of light.
Yeah, that's the opposite. That's the heaviest or the darkest theme on the whole album.
Right.
It's about mental illness, mental health. It's about a boy and a girl who both is thinking about ending their own lives, suicide.
Right.
And it's the first song where Katja, who plays the keys on the album and is in the band, the latest member in the band, where she sings. And it's really, really become my favorite song on the album. It grows on me every time I listen to it. It's such a emotional song for me.
Right, right,
So it's about, you know, losing it or staying with us.
right, right. How about Freak Like Me?
Freak Like Me is about people who are odd.
There's a lot
Yeah.
of them.
Yeah. You know, we should try to accept everybody for who they are, and the song is about someone who's not accepted, and yeah,
Right, right. How about Back Against the Wall?
it's just a rock poetry song, straightforward, no thoughts, just turn the speaker up to 10 and just go berserk on the guitar.
Into the Flames?
Into the Flames is also a really, really heavy themed song. It's about war.
Uh-huh.
When I wrote the song, there was no conflict in the Ukraine, but you know, you can relate to that lyric quite hard, actually, the way that things are happening in Europe right now. So it's about a boy who grows up in the shadow of the war and hasn't been allowed to be a child, because you know, you have to do stuff that you shouldn't do when you're a child in a war situation.
Right, right, right. Now you know what's going to happen when I get done with this interview. I'm going to go have to listen to the album again and listen to your words, like
Yeah,
what you explained to me, and you know, and
please do.
that'll be pretty cool. You know,
Yeah,
pretty
nice.
cool, cool, cool. So Into the Flames, June release, Scarlet Records. Can you tell me, is it going to come out different formats like vinyl, download? How's it going to come?
It's going to come as a CD, of course. It's going to be on every streaming platform. We haven't decided on the vinyl yet. We would love to do it, but on the same time, there is a huge. You have to wait a long time to get the vinyl these days.
Right.
So maybe in a year or something, we could have it out on vinyl. So I can't promise you anything there, but CD and all streaming platforms on June 17th.
Now, how can people buy your merchandise or get in contact with you or pre-order the album?
Yeah, and we have a website where we have the merchandise, solesyndicate.com. And they can pre-order the album via Scarlet Records.
Anything I missed you like to talk about? A tour, anything like that?
We're rehearsing to go on tour. You know, we haven't been on tour for a couple of years because of COVID-19. So we're super stoked to get on tour, but nothing is decided yet.
Right, right. You hope to, you know, go to different countries besides problem areas?
Yeah,
you know,
we would love to. We would love to go down to the south of Europe, you know, like Italy, Spain, Germany, right. Belgium, Holland, all of that.
Right.
And if the opportunity comes, we would love to come over to the States as well.
Jonas, it was great talking to you, and thank your label for setting everything up, and you too. You know, everybody support the band. I listened to the album already. Phenomenal. I watched it, listened to it a couple times. Thanks very much. I enjoyed the chat.
Thank you, Brian. Take care.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.